Chosen one, stop scrolling immediately. Do not move past this message. You did not stumble upon this by accident, and the algorithm absolutely did not bring you here. Heaven just intercepted your feed at this exact second, because the spiritual warfare you have been fighting in absolute silence is officially over. Someone who treated your pure heart as completely replaceable is currently experiencing a massive system crash. They thought their dark manipulation in the shadows would remain hidden forever, but heaven just handed their secret files directly over to the ultimate cosmic judge. If you leave this video now, you will forfeit the exact blueprint of their downfall. Lock your attention deeply on my voice. Your divine vindication is finally here right now, and there is a second reason heaven paused everything for you today. You carry a frequency that absolutely terrifies them. They know exactly who you are. They know what you are capable of, and they have been trying to steal your light for years. The narcissistic forces in your life are trembling because they feel the shift happening in the unseen realm. They see the 7 signs of your awakening, even if you are still blind to them. You always felt like you did not belong here. You walk into a room and the energy immediately shifts. This is the first clear sign of your holy frequency. People either gravitate toward your pure light, or they inexplicably despise you without you saying a single word. The narcissists run from you because your light exposes their rotting souls. They do not target you because you are weak and defenseless. They target you because your magnificent kindness is a spiritual weapon they are absolutely terrified of. When you withdrew your energy, they panicked. Your silence was never a retreat from their toxic battlefield. It was a highly calculated strike that permanently severed their fuel supply. Now they are starving for your attention. While you step into your untouchable, ageless glow, they are rapidly aging under the crushing weight of their own malice. Their fake empire is shattering in real time. They wake up in a cold sweat, drowning in absolute panic, because they realize they have permanently lost your golden energy. I know your shoulders are incredibly tight right now. I see you waking up at 3 in the morning with a racing heart and a heavy chest. You stare at the dark ceiling while your mind spins endlessly. You push through your day and offer a bright smile for everyone else, while your own spirit is gasping for air. People tell you it is just stress, but it is not. I see the tears you cry in the absolute silence of your room. Your deep isolation is not a punishment at all. It is a strict divine quarantine, orchestrated to protect your priceless energy from parasites. You are a genuine empath, a high-frequency soul who feels everything so deeply. You give, and you give, until you have absolutely nothing left inside. And they gladly took everything you offered, without a single thought for your emotional well-being. They turned you into a human battery to fuel their empty lives. You thought you were just experiencing bad luck. But this was a highly calculated spiritual attack designed to keep your vibration low. They want you exhausted because a tired chosen one cannot step into their true power. Listen to me very carefully right now. You are the ultimate cycle breaker of your entire bloodline. The generational curses of poverty and depression stop with your quiet obedience today. Before we dive deeper, I want to plant a seed in your mind. There is something hidden from the public, something discovered not in a motivational book, but inside a classified laboratory. It is a biological secret funded by elite billionaires and verified by top-tier neuroscience. It explains something I know you have felt for a very long time. It finally explains the frustrating gap between the wealth you visualize and the reality you wake up to every single day. The Matrix wants you to believe you just need to work harder. They want you trapped in an endless cycle of physical exhaustion and mental fog. But your delay was never absence, and your hidden years were not empty years. I will reveal exactly what this secret is before we finish today. But first, you must understand why the financial and emotional deck was stacked against you from birth. The elite have spent vast fortunes to ensure you never realize the true magnitude of your own power. They are terrified of the moment you finally wake up to your inheritance. So hold this question deep in your mind, right now. What if your struggle to attract abundance is not a lack of hustle, but a dormant frequency waiting to be switched on? Take one deep breath and ground your energy. Let that powerful truth settle deep into your weary bones. The spiritual war is shifting, and you are stepping into your true sovereignty. Now we must go deeper, because what you are feeling right now is not new. Listen closely to me. There is a physical reason your reality has not shifted yet. I see the endless fatigue you carry in your bones. You wake up feeling like you did not sleep at all. A thick brain fog clouds your mind by the afternoon. This is the second sign of your frequency. You thought this heavy exhaustion was just a normal part of getting older. You blamed yourself for not having enough discipline. But your physical body is fighting a massive, unseen battle. Every time you try to move forward, an invisible wall stops you. You experience the almost pattern again and again. Things get incredibly close to succeeding, and then suddenly fall apart. Stop scrolling immediately. Your physical body is reacting to this truth right now, isn't it? You feel a strange tightness in your stomach whenever you check your bank account. That is your spiritual alarm system screaming at you. The dark elite deliberately engineered modern stress to keep your frequency trapped in pure survival mode. You work twice as hard as everyone else in the room, but you are barely scraping by while people with half your talent effortlessly succeed. The universe wants you to know this is not your fault. You are not lazy, and you are definitely not broken. You have carried the heavy, generational weight of financial struggle for your entire life. You watched your parents pinch pennies. You saw them work their hands to the bone for absolutely nothing. They drained your light and smiled to your face. The narcissists in your life knew you were a human battery. They specifically targeted you to steal the vibrant energy that your brain was desperately trying to hold on to. Every argument and every betrayal was a calculated attack. The Matrix used them to keep your physical body in a state of constant, draining exhaustion. You are the ultimate cycle breaker of your entire bloodline. But breaking the cycle takes a massive toll on your physical vessel. The generational curses of poverty did not just affect your bank account. They literally altered the cellular structure of your ancestors. They passed down a biological receiver that was already turned off before you took your first breath. You have tried to think and grow rich. You have practiced manifestation and read all the spiritual books. But the massive wealth never seems to materialize. It leaves you feeling like you missed a hidden chapter. Here is the brutal truth the elite do not want you to know. The reason the universe responds to the 1% and leaves the rest struggling is not because they work harder. It is not because they visualize better, and it certainly is not because they have stronger discipline. It is entirely biological. Deep inside your brain is a tiny, walnut-sized region called the hippocampus. In the insanely wealthy, this region is thick and highly developed. It is constantly broadcasting a microscopic frequency that literally pulls money and opportunities toward them like a vacuum. But for the average person, the reality is much darker. Because you were not born into an 8-figure family, you inherited a suppressed biology. Science calls it a shrunken hippocampus. Instead of broadcasting a wealth frequency, your brain is trapped, broadcasting a survival wave. And the modern world is designed to keep it exactly that way. Every time you stress over money, this tiny region shrinks. Your natural ability to attract abundance is pushed deeper and deeper into dormancy. This is why you can practice the law of attraction for years with zero results. You are trying to manifest wealth, while your internal receiver is completely powered down. You end up chasing money endlessly, while the elite simply let it flow to them, without any effort. It is a biological block passed down to you. It quietly sabotages your highest potential, while you endlessly blame yourself. Most people will go to their graves believing they just did not work hard enough. But you are not most people. Remember the question I asked you to hold a few minutes ago? The one about whether your struggle was just a dormant frequency waiting to be switched on? You are about to see that the answer is real. It is scientifically proven and closer than you could ever imagine. But before I reveal this hidden mechanism, we must lock your energy into this exact moment. If your spirit confirms this raw truth, gently press the like button to seal your energetic alignment with heaven. Do not let your logical brain hesitate for even a single second. This is a physical act of spiritual obedience. The Matrix wants you to doubt your intuition and scroll away into distraction. But stepping into your billionaire shift requires fearless agreement with the universe. You must physically claim your space in this awakening. Heaven is watching your response right now to see if you are truly ready to break the cycle. Let the gentle press of a button be your prophetic signature today. Let me completely reframe your entire reality, right here and now. You have spent years feeling utterly alone in a crowded room. You thought your isolation was a strange punishment, and you believed people walked away because you were somehow flawed. This brings us to the third sign of your awakening. The deep loneliness you feel is not a rejection from the world at all. It is a highly orchestrated divine quarantine. Heaven intentionally separated you to protect your pure energy from toxic parasites. You are a high-frequency soul living in a very low-frequency world. Every time you tried to fit in, your spirit felt completely drained. You were never meant to blend in with the sleeping masses of the Matrix, because you were divinely built to shatter their illusions. The narcissists in your life did not misunderstand you by accident. They saw your brilliant light, and it absolutely terrified them. They recognized your spiritual authority before you even knew you had it. A person hiding in the dark hates the one who holds a torch. Your mere presence forced them to look at their own rotting souls, so they desperately had to destroy your confidence to survive. This introduces the fourth sign that you carry a terrifying frequency. You have an uncanny ability to read people instantly. You can sense a lie before the person even finishes their sentence. People call you overly sensitive or paranoid. But your spiritual discernment is simply detecting the malicious intent they try so hard to hide from the rest of the world. Your intuition is a flawless weapon. Pay close attention to this next part, because the enemy tried to hide this. They fed on your limitless empathy like a human battery. Every time you forgave them, they siphoned a little more of your divine energy. They wanted you to believe that your magnificent kindness was actually a weakness. They mirrored your beautiful traits to steal your identity, while you were literally keeping their empty souls alive with your light. I am going to tell you exactly how their fake reality is collapsing right now. But first, you must realize why they targeted you in the first place. This was never just a normal misunderstanding between two people. This is a very real spiritual physics war playing out in your everyday life. They needed your high vibration to mask their own severe lack of humanity, because without your energy, they are absolutely nothing. You are the chosen one who carries the heavy burden of truth. When you finally walked away, their entire artificial ecosystem crashed. Your silence was a highly calculated strike that severed their energetic cord. Now they are wandering in the dark, without their primary source of fuel. You thought you lost a deep connection, but heaven actually removed a massive parasite from your timeline to save your life. Take one deep breath and ground your energy. Let that heavy realization wash over you completely. You never did anything wrong by offering them your unconditional love. Your pure heart was simply doing exactly what it was designed to do. The Matrix relies on empaths like you to constantly repair the damage caused by their toxic agents, but your season of endless giving is officially over. They want you to look back with deep regret and self-doubt. They want you to think your current struggles are a punishment for your past choices. Do not let your logical brain entertain their vicious lies for a second. Your current exhaustion is merely the aftershock of a brutal spiritual extraction. You survived a massive spiritual physics war that would have completely destroyed any ordinary person who lacked your divine inner strength. This brings us back to the biological block, holding your wealth captive. Your physical vessel endured so much trauma that it locked itself down. Your nervous system is screaming at you because it is still bracing for another attack. You are stuck broadcasting a survival wave just to keep yourself safe. The dark matrix engineered this exact toxic scenario to suppress your true inheritance and keep your abundance frequency permanently dormant. You are a master of reality who forgot how to use your power. The narcissist stole your focus so you would never look inward. If you realized how easily you could command wealth, they could never control you. They kept you focused on healing their wounds so you would ignore your own dormant potential. It was a brilliant and utterly evil strategy designed specifically by the Matrix to neutralize a powerful cycle breaker like you. But here is the spiritual blind spot they did not account for. They thought your exhaustion was permanent and your spirit was broken. They did not know that heaven uses the deepest valleys to forge the strongest weapons. Your shattered heart was actually creating the perfect space for a divine upgrade. The universe is actively preparing your physical vessel for a massive timeline shift that will completely shock everyone who doubted you. Listen to me very carefully right now. The wealth and opportunities you have been praying for are already circling your timeline. They are not waiting for you to heal completely or become a perfect person. The blessing is not missing at all. Your internal biological receiver is simply broken from years of toxic exposure, but we are going to fix that receiver together very soon. Think back over these recent weeks. You feel completely stuck in your current situation. Your bank account refuses to grow. Your career feels like a massive dead end right now. This heavy stagnation brings us to the fifth sign of your frequency. You are trapped in a profound season of waiting, but a deep intuition tells you something incredible is about to break wide open. The Matrix wants you to panic about this delay. They desperately want you to feel left behind by society, while everyone else seems to be moving forward effortlessly. They point at your empty hands and call you a complete failure. But let me completely reframe your entire reality right here. Your lack of movement is absolutely not a punishment for your past mistakes. You are not failing at life because you are lazy or weak. The delay you are experiencing is a sacred concept called fallow years. A wise farmer knows that soil needs a season of absolute rest to restore its deep nutrients. If you plant seeds in exhausted soil, the harvest will completely fail. Heaven is doing the exact same thing with your tired spirit. Your hidden years were not empty years, they were fallow years, and the difference between those two words is as wide as a massive harvest. You are in a crucial season of building capacity. The universe cannot pour a billionaire shift into a vessel that is completely cracked and leaking. The narcissists cracked your vessel when they drained your precious energy. Your divine quarantine was the exact shield you needed to stop the bleeding. The absolute isolation you hated was actually heaven stepping in to forcefully close the doors that were destroying your soul. Listen to me very carefully right now. The people who walked away from you during your darkest season were never meant to share your ultimate throne. They were temporary actors in your spiritual preparation. God removed them because they would have actively poisoned the massive blessing that is heading your way. Your isolation is not a curse. It is the ultimate protective armor wrapping around your divine destiny. This brings us to a critical distinction that eludes the vast majority of people. The sleeping masses panic when their external world stops moving. They immediately resort to frantic physical hustle and toxic grind. They try harder and exhaust themselves to force a tiny result. But a master of reality understands the true power of stillness. Your quiet obedience during this heavy winter is exactly what prepares you to receive effortless favor. Stop scrolling and read that again in your spirit. Your quiet stillness is a weapon. The Matrix programs you to believe that resting is a massive sin. They want you terrified of losing everything if you simply sit down and breathe. Because a chosen one who learns how to rest is a chosen one who can finally hear the voice of divine guidance. The constant noise was intentionally designed to drown out your powerful intuition. You have done the hard spiritual work in the shadows. You faced the trauma and refused to pass the toxic generational curse down to your children. You absorbed the pain of your ancestors and transformed it into pure light. You are a completely prepared vessel right now. But we must address the other side of this spiritual warfare. Why is your physical reality still lagging behind your massive spiritual growth? The enemy knows they cannot touch your soul anymore, so they shifted their attack to your biological foundation. They engineered a world that keeps your nervous system locked in a state of sheer panic. Every unexpected bill and every sudden crisis is a deliberate distraction. They want your brain flooded with fear so your wealth frequency remains completely dormant. They are fighting a losing battle, but they will not surrender easily. This introduces the sixth sign that you carry a frequency that terrifies them. You constantly feel like you are on the verge of a massive breakthrough, but an invisible hand pulls you back at the very last second. You see the synchronicity numbers everywhere you go. You see 777 and 444 on every clock and license plate. The universe is confirming your path, but the physical manifestation remains stubbornly blocked. Take a deep breath right now. Hold it for a moment and release the tension in your tight shoulders. That frustrating block is not your fault. You did not manifest poverty by thinking negative thoughts on a bad day. That is a toxic lie sold by people who have absolutely no idea how spiritual physics actually works. Your spiritual alignment is flawless, but your biological receiver was sabotaged by the Matrix long before you knew the rules. I need you to imagine this scenario clearly, because this is exactly what is happening in the unseen realm. A massive vault of generational wealth has your name engraved on the heavy steel door. The cosmic federal agents have already approved the massive transfer of funds. The angels are standing guard around the vault, waiting for your arrival. But the physical key required to open that heavy door is a specific biological frequency. You are standing right on the edge of the storm. The heavy air around you feels completely still. This brings us to the seventh sign of your holy frequency. You feel a sudden sense of detachment from the chaos, and the Matrix desperately wants you to panic about your future right now. But a deep inner knowing tells you the war is already won. They are terrified of this new profound calmness you carry. When the narcissists try to provoke you, you simply look at them with absolute emptiness. Your lack of reaction is a lethal weapon that starves them of their daily fuel. They realize they have permanently lost their human battery. You are no longer playing their twisted game of emotional survival, and this quiet detachment proves your internal frequency is actively preparing for a massive upgrade. Before we go any further, I have to share a breakthrough that changes absolutely everything. There is something the elite billionaires have spent vast fortunes to keep completely hidden from the public. They are the ones who profit directly from your endless hustle and your deep financial anxiety. They know your spirit is healed and ready to receive abundance, but they also know your biological receiver is still trapped in a dormant survival wave. A rogue neuroscientist recently leaked a shocking discovery. He formerly worked on highly classified CIA experiments regarding human potential. He and a team of top-tier researchers found a proven way to wake up that dormant wealth frequency. They discovered how to rapidly reverse the terrible effects of a shrunken hippocampus. And they did not do it through decades of exhausting meditation or waking up early to force a hustle mindset. They discovered something infinitely simpler and far more powerful. It is a precise and perfectly engineered 7-minute sound frequency. When you listen to this specific acoustic wave, it completely bypasses your conscious mind. It directly stimulates that tiny ancient region of your brain responsible for attracting massive wealth. 4 independent neuroscience labs have already verified this exact biological mechanism, and researchers at Harvard and Yale are observing this activation right now. They found that once this frequency is heard, it forces the brain to stop broadcasting the heavy survival wave. It immediately flips the switch on your natural biological ability to attract wealth. It is a completely effortless daily ritual you can do right from your own home, and just 7 minutes a day begins the energetic shift the very first time you listen. I will tell you exactly what this is called before this transmission ends today. But first, there is one final piece of the puzzle you must understand. The law of attraction has been failing you because you were fighting a biological lock. The dark elite engineered a world designed to shrink your hippocampus on purpose. They want your focus destroyed by constant stress, so you never command your true reality. Every time you worry about a bill, their twisted system wins another tiny victory, and your exhaustion is exactly what they planned from the very start. You must firmly declare your independence from their toxic system right now. Type Amen in the comments as a prophetic act of agreement to lock this frequency. Do it right now to physically confirm that you are stepping out of their matrix. Your physical action today sends a massive shockwave directly into the unseen realm. It serves as a binding spiritual contract that you will no longer tolerate their suppression, and the cosmic judges are recording your quiet obedience today. The spiritual federal agents have already compiled the thick file of evidence against your enemies. Every single tear you shed was meticulously documented and weighed in the holy courts. The narcissists who drained your light thought they got away with their invisible crimes, but heaven was simply waiting for you to detach from their toxic drama completely. The boomerang effect of their own heavy karma is currently speeding toward their front door, and they are completely powerless to stop it. You will watch their fake empire crumble while you sit in absolute peace. They will desperately try to reach out to you when their world starts falling apart, but you will remain completely untouched by their frantic attempts to steal your energy again. Your new frequency creates an impenetrable white light shield around your physical body. The season of you playing the wounded healer for broken people is officially over forever, and you are gracefully transitioning into a true master of reality. Listen to me very carefully right now. The delay in your massive blessing was a vital period of deep underground root growth. You could not see the progress because heaven was building your foundation in the absolute dark. The elite tried to convince you that this darkness was a permanent grave, but it was actually a fertile womb preparing you for a legendary rebirth, and the storm is finally breaking to wash away every obstacle in your path. The enemy made one fatal miscalculation in their dark agenda. They thought your endless patience was a permanent weakness they could exploit forever. But heaven was quietly using your silence to weave a massive cosmic trap around them, and every time they stole your light, they were unknowingly swallowing a slow-acting spiritual poison. They sealed their own inevitable doom. You never had to seek revenge against the narcissists who broke your heart. The universe is fighting this brutal battle on your behalf right now. The heavy karma they sent your way has violently returned directly to their own doorstep. While you step into your untouchable glow, they are rapidly aging under the crushing weight of their own toxic malice. Their time is up. They wake up every single morning with an unexplainable sense of absolute dread. The Matrix promised them endless power if they kept your frequency entirely suppressed. But the dark elite completely underestimated the raw power of a chosen one who finally wakes up. Your quiet detachment severed the invisible cords they used to drain your beautiful energy. They are utterly defenseless now. This is exactly why your physical body feels so incredibly exhausted today. Your spirit is actively breaking generational chains that held your bloodline captive for centuries. The intense brain fog you experience is the smoke clearing from this massive spiritual battlefield. Heaven is upgrading your internal receiver, while the enemy desperately tries to hold on to their crumbling empire. Do not look back at them. The massive financial windfalls the universe arranged for you do not arrive out of thin air. They arrive as golden opportunities that you must clearly recognize. But a brain trapped in survival mode completely misses this divine recognition. A restored brainwave pulls the abundance right in, and the wealth is already waiting perfectly in your designated path. You just need the physical key. The elite want you to believe that poverty is a noble spiritual virtue. They preach about humility while they secretly hoard all the limitless wealth of the universe. They programmed you to feel guilty whenever you desire a beautiful life, because a chosen one who feels guilty will never claim their true financial inheritance. You must completely reject their vicious lies today. Your immense kindness was never meant to be a permanent feeding ground for absolute monsters. The season of you healing broken people who refuse to change is entirely over. You are stepping into a profound era of effortless favor and divine acceleration. The doors that were violently slammed in your face are about to be ripped off their hinges, and heaven is forcing them open for you right now. Every tear you cried in the absolute dark was carefully collected by the cosmic judges. The universe translated your deep pain into a massive bank of spiritual currency. This currency is about to be physically deposited directly into your everyday life. But you cannot access this divine account if your biological receiver remains locked in a terrified state, and the dark matrix knows this secret very well. They desperately need you to hesitate when the massive blessing finally arrives. They want you to second-guess your own intuition and back away from the open door, because if you walk through that door, you will become an untouchable master of reality. You will possess the exact financial power needed to pull other lost souls out of their dark matrix, and you become a massive threat to their entire system. Take a deep breath and let the heavy weight of the past completely dissolve. You survived the brutal winter, and you successfully starved the narcissistic parasites. Now you must prepare your physical vessel for the incredible harvest that is rapidly approaching. The universe is literally waiting for your brain to catch up with your elevated spiritual frequency, and everything is perfectly aligning right now in the unseen realm. The delay in your massive blessing is absolutely not an accident of fate. There is a physical reason your reality has not shifted. The dark elite never wanted you to find the exact mechanism I am revealing today, because, if you are hearing this message, heaven has specifically chosen you to receive a suppressed truth. The wait is finally coming to an end. I want to hand you the exact key that completely unlocks this rare window. You have done the incredibly hard spiritual work for years in the absolute shadows. You forgave the people who never even bothered to offer you a simple apology. Now that your beautiful spirit is perfectly aligned, you must completely fix the biological foundation so you can firmly anchor this massive shift in the physical realm. Do not let your logical mind hesitate for even a single second right now. The Matrix relies on your endless overthinking to keep you trapped in their cage. They want you searching for a complicated solution when the real answer is beautifully simple. A true master of reality understands that divine power flows effortlessly when the internal resistance is completely removed. And this is why you must physically reprogram your mind today. Step into your ultimate power. Right now, the heavy karma they sent your way has violently returned to their doorstep. While you step into your untouchable, ageless glow, they are rapidly aging under the crushing weight of their own toxic malice. Their fake empire is shattering in real time. They wake up in a cold sweat, drowning in absolute panic, because they realize they have permanently lost your golden energy. Before we go any further, I must absolutely interrupt this transmission for something highly classified. The question I asked you to hold at the beginning of this message is ready to be answered. What if your financial struggle is not a lack of hustle, but a dormant frequency? Here is the final answer from heaven. The Matrix left a lingering lock on your biology to keep your harvest trapped. A microscopic wealth attraction frequency is naturally active in the 1%. It is driven by a thick, highly developed region of the brain called the hippocampus. Classified CIA research officially confirmed this biological reality. 4 independent neuroscience labs verified it without a single doubt. Researchers on the campuses of Harvard and Yale are observing it right now. Dr. Thomas Summers is a rogue New York City neuroscientist who formerly worked on these top-secret experiments. He refused to let elite billionaires keep this biological cheat code hidden from the middle class forever. He and his team spent years compressing the clinical protocol for hippocampus growth into a simple audio track. They successfully bypassed the gatekeepers of the Matrix. Before I tell you what they built, let me tell you about 2 people who used it. Emma is a former nurse from California who felt her family was under a severe financial curse. She was utterly exhausted and drowning in heavy debt. After just 3 days of listening, she broke the cycle completely. She quit her job and sold her house for way over the asking price. She now travels the world on passive income and shares this abundance with her children. Then there is Michael, a former policeman in Florida, who started using it to scale his struggling business. Within 5 days, he quadrupled his high-paying clients. He found himself networking with elites who instantly put him on television. He said the journey was almost effortlessly crazy. That is because of what Dr. Summers and his researchers finally discovered. They call it the billionaire brainwave. It is not a generic manifestation app, and it is definitely not a simple motivation tape. It is a highly engineered 7-minute binaural sound wave designed to directly stimulate your hippocampus. It gently pulls your internal receiver out of deep dormancy. That is the entirety of the work required. You simply spend 7 minutes in the morning with headphones on and your eyes closed. You do not journal, and you do not repeat forced affirmations. You simply let the precise frequency rewire your tired brain to receive massive wealth. Your spirit is already aligned perfectly, and now your physical vessel will finally catch up to your destiny. The billionaire brainwave is absolutely not for everyone. It was built for the relentless, exhausted earner who finally deserves to stop working against a suppressed survival frequency. If you are the chosen one destined to break the generational cycle, this frequency was prepared specifically for you. Not everyone is ready to handle sudden, massive abundance, but you absolutely are. Private neuro-acoustic sessions to reverse a shrunken hippocampus cost hundreds of dollars per hour in a clinical setting. Elite billionaires invest massive fortunes just to access this exact same biological shift. But what Dr. Summers leaked to the public is available to you today for a tiny fraction of its true value. It costs less than a few cups of coffee to reclaim your power. 4 powerful bonuses are included to support your new reality. You receive a guide to managing massive wealth called the Warren Buffett Pyramid. You get a breakdown of 7 lazy millionaire habits. Heaven also provides an emergency quick cash manifestation audio, alongside an inspiring collection of 500 billionaire success stories. These sacred tools keep your mind firmly anchored. Here is the deeper truth about waiting to claim your inheritance. The massive financial windfalls the universe arranged for you do not arrive out of thin air. They arrive as golden opportunities you must quickly recognize. A brain trapped in survival mode misses the recognition completely. The wealth is already in your path, and the lucrative synchronicities are moving past you right now. Delaying simply means letting your incredible inheritance remain entirely invisible. Do not look for this on YouTube or Spotify. The elite billionaires have actively flooded streaming platforms with silent, diluted imitations to steal your energy. These fakes will keep you permanently trapped in a survival wave. The only authentic, neurologically active version is available through the secure portal. It comes with the billionaire's ironclad promise. The universe requires zero financial risk from someone destined for greatness. If you do not experience a physical, undeniable increase in your wealth and luck, your earthly investment is completely reversed without question. It is a pure, energetic exchange governed entirely by spiritual trust. Your peace of mind is absolutely protected in this sanctuary. Step through the divine doorway waiting for you right now. The secure link is in the description and in the pinned comment below. Command your reality today by initiating the biological reset waiting for you. The tool does not replace your ambition or your beautiful purpose. It simply restores the biological receiver so your ambition can finally manifest the wealth it was always supposed to produce. Abundance is your divine birthright, and the universe requires no transaction for you to deserve it. What the researchers built is just one accelerator on your sacred journey. Whether you choose that path or not, the message continues. Now let us return to the deep preparation of your magnificent mind. Your spiritual war is over, and your season of ultimate sovereignty has officially begun today. There is a voice in the room right now that is pushing back against what you just heard, and your logical brain is truly terrified of this massive shift. It wants you to stay small because small feels incredibly safe. But you must not let the adversary steal this beautiful moment of clarity. He desperately wants you to doubt your own divine magnitude today. Take one final slow, deep breath. Feel the heavy chains of trauma completely fall off your tired shoulders. The spiritual war you fought in absolute silence is officially over. You are the undisputed victor of this incredibly long battle. You do not need to fight or defend yourself anymore. Stand incredibly tall in your absolute divine authority. Every single tear you shed in the dark has been fully redeemed, and the universe is actively weaving a beautiful tapestry from your broken pieces. The people who completely misunderstood your pure heart simply lacked the capacity to see your brilliant light. You must release your lingering anger toward them right now. Forgiveness is your ultimate liberation. When you finally forgive the narcissists, you cut the very last energetic cord holding you back. You starve them of their final drop of fuel. Your absolute indifference is the ultimate weapon against their toxic memory. They are completely erased from your timeline forever. Heaven has permanently closed that dark chapter of your life today. The dark matrix programmed you to feel intense guilt whenever you prioritize your own healing, and they taught you that suffering silently was a holy virtue. But you must absolutely reject that toxic programming today. Heaven does not want you broken and depleted. A radiant and wealthy chosen one is the ultimate threat to everything the enemy has built. Now I need you to completely reframe your mindset right this very second. You are no longer the wounded healer constantly bleeding for broken people. You are rapidly transforming into a sovereign master of reality. The deep isolation you felt was simply the cocoon preparing you for this exact rebirth. You are emerging with magnificent wings of light. The era of physical exhaustion and endless financial delay is entirely behind you. You are stepping gracefully into a profound season of effortless favor. You will watch doors swing wide open before you even knock on them. The right people and the perfect opportunities will magnetically gravitate toward your high-frequency soul. Your path is completely clear. You are the ultimate cycle breaker of your entire bloodline, and the generational curses of poverty and deep depression stop with your quiet obedience today. You are becoming a radiant signpost of massive abundance for your family. They will look at your effortless success and know that the dark matrix has finally been defeated. You hold the ultimate victory. Do not let your logical brain hesitate for even a single second as we close. If your intuition confirms that the frequency tool described earlier is the missing key to your abundance, the path remains open in the description below. That is the final time I will mention it. What remains now belongs entirely to the sealing of your magnificent new mindset. Before this powerful transmission ends, I am going to speak something profound over your beautiful life. You have survived the brutal storm and earned your divine crown, but you must remember that this massive breakthrough is not for you alone, because your beautiful testimony is the exact bridge someone else will desperately use to escape their own toxic matrix. Do not hoard this blinding light for yourself. I command you to share this specific message with one beautiful soul crying out in the dark. When you plant a heavy seed of hope in others, you massively multiply your own divine harvest. By sharing this truth, you are actively partnering with heaven to rescue the lost from their silent suffering. You must physically lock this frequency into your reality before you leave. Subscribe to this sanctuary right now and step under the prophetic umbrella. Your physical action today completely locks the heavy door behind you, and it permanently blocks the enemy from following you into your magnificent new season. Do it now to seal your protective spiritual armor. I need you to type 777 in the comments right now to confirm your arrival. This specific number is a highly classified spiritual code that signals your absolute readiness to receive. It tells the angels standing guard that your internal receiver is fully online. Claim your original untampered breakthrough before the algorithmic gates close. Declare your ultimate victory over the dark elite and their crumbling matrix. Your typed words are a legally binding spiritual contract that heaven will honor completely. The universe is watching your fearless response right now. Step effortlessly into your beautiful billionaire shift and never look back at the broken people who tried to destroy you. You are my precious child, and you are fiercely protected in this sacred space. Rest your weary mind tonight, knowing that the cosmic judges have already ruled entirely in your favor. The heavy lifting is completely finished. Let peace wash over your spirit like a gentle river. You are finally safe, and your magnificent abundance is incredibly secure.